Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series we're going to be going over Mars in the houses, okay? Mars in the houses, and in this episode we're going to be talking about having Mars in your 12th house, okay? Mars in the 12th house, the last house, all right? So first let's go over what Mars is. Mars is the planet of energy in the most direct sense. This is like our adrenaline, our physical body and how we move it, how we become an existence in reality. It's all through energy. Mars, it rules that in the most direct sense. It rules our adrenaline, our physical body movements, our actions, our impulses, you know, that instinctive energy we have. Mars is represented as the planet, the warrior planet, okay? It's straightforward. It takes action. Anywhere Mars is in your houses, in houses in chart, it represents where action's being taken place, okay? So physical body, adrenaline, also your sexuality. Mars rules that, okay? It's the hot, fiery planet. And then you have the 12th house. The 12th house is the most magical, mystical, mysterious house, okay? It deals with our imagination, our deep subconscious feelings, okay? So hidden feelings, our subconscious, you know, our dreams, okay? 12th house is escapism, it's dreams, it's like having an outer body experience, you know, it's astral projection, okay? It's rest, it's sleep, okay? It's spirituality, okay? It's beyond the physical experience. It's getting out of the physical world, okay? Very magical, mystical, imaginative, emotional as well house, okay? It's ruled by Pisces. So, you got Mars in the 12th house, okay? The first thing I would say with Mars in the 12th house, okay, is that your anger, okay, your temper, your ability to fight back and to fight in general is hidden, okay? Because anything in the 12th house is considered hidden, because the 12th house, as powerful, magical as it is, it's subconscious. It deals with the intuition. So these are things that you're not conscious about. You don't really 100% know. It's kind of like when you walk into a room and you get a vibe. It's not conscious to the sense where you could be like, here, this vibe is like this because this is what I'm seeing. It's just more so what you're picking up on an intuitive level. It's more subconscious. That is the 12th house. So when whatever energy is here, it's gonna be literally put into the subconscious. So it's your Mars energy. Our Mars energy, Mars is a very important planet because it represents how we fight, how we take action, how we motivate ourselves, how we fight against forces. This is Mars energy. So when it's in the 12th house, that part of you is hidden. It's like people with Mars in the 12th house can have issues standing up for themselves. When they have to fight, they completely choose flight, okay? You know, when it's fight or flight, they're at flight because they don't have that Mars energy. It's not conscious within them. Any planets, any signs you have in the 12th house, it's your responsibility to bring it out, to become conscious of it so that you have more power and control over it, okay? Because with Mars here, it's like you don't really have any conscious awareness of your fighting energy. So people can take advantage of you, you know, with Mars in 12th house. Mars helps you fight back people. Mars helps you set your boundaries. Mars helps you focus on yourself. So when you have it in the 12th house, you don't have that. It's hidden. You have problems doing that, and people will take advantage of you because they see you don't have a fighting energy within you. You're not a type of person that's going to stand up for yourself because you know you don't have you're not aware of your Mars energy. So definitely be careful with that, Mars and 12th house people. You need to bring your Mars energy out in awareness by being aware of it. You need to be aware that you have anger. You need to be aware that you have a temper. You need to be aware that you have boundaries that you're willing to fight for. Okay, so very strong thing that Mars and 12th house people can struggle with is their fighting energy. And because it's so deep down in the subconscious, it manifests in different ways. So, you know, that's the thing about the 12th house, is that just because it's hidden in the subconscious doesn't mean it's not in existence and operating existence. It's still operating. So what that means is that Mars in 12th house people will be very passive aggressive. So because they can't directly tap into their Mars energy and just fight back, it becomes indirect. So basically Mars is working on a subconscious level. And that could be a little bit, that's definitely a problem, because you could be very passive aggressive. You could be throwing out anger in a passive way that you're not aware of, because you got all this anger that you're not acknowledging. So you're playing tricks or using a creative way to have an outlet for that Mars energy. And that's passive aggressiveness, because it's not direct, it's indirect. So Mars in 12th house people, definitely be aware of your passive aggressive nature, because you guys are not conscious of your Mars energy and don't fight back and do things directly. It becomes very passive. That aggression becomes very passive and be given out indirectly. And sometimes that's even worse than, you directly, approaching someone, with your aggression, because now no one knows where this aggression is coming from, including yourself. So, just be careful, because the passive aggression is definitely a huge factor with Mars in the 12th house. Also, with this Mars in 12th house, an interesting thing is that you can have some violent, aggressive dreams, okay? But the 12th house rules our dreams because it rules our subconscious. This is like where we're unconscious and all our imagination's going wild and crazy and all this intuition, spirits giving you messages through your dreams. Well, with having Mars here in the house of dreams, your dreams can be very aggressive, like Mars. So again, it's like, to me, this piggybacks on the passive aggressiveness. So say if like a Mars in 12th person gets picked on for whatever reason, okay, and you're mad, but you can't express it because your Mars is all hidden, and it's not something you express, you're afraid of your own anger. That anger doesn't go away. So you basically, it's like you go home and you sleep at night and then you have a dream of you beating the crap out of either the person that started with you or just some person that reminds you of them, whatever, because dreams are very creative. But yeah, you can have these aggressive dreams, like you have a dream you beating the crap out of someone, and that's because you didn't take your anger out directly when you were being picked on earlier. So now when you go to sleep, you having dreams of you beating people up and taking out all that aggressive energy out. So definitely be aware of this, because this is your imagination, basically. So it's like, I would say Mars in 12th house people have a very aggressive imagination because there's so much pent up anger and energy, it's left in the subconscious. So, you might not be fighting people directly, but you are in your dreams in the spiritual world. You are a warrior, you're aggressive in the spiritual world. So be careful with that too, okay? That's, again, it could be passive, that could be like, dreaming of aggression, but also being passive aggressive, throwing hexes at people, which is not cool, because you have to be direct in this reality. When you're indirect, that's when you're kind of cheating and manipulating, and that energy can come back towards you. So be careful with the passive aggressiveness, okay? Because again, like I said, Mars energy in the 12th house, it's hidden, but it doesn't mean it's not operating. It is. It's just operating in the subconscious. So be aware of that. So if you're getting these crazy aggressive dreams, it's because you're not releasing that aggression in reality. And it makes sense because your Mars is in the 12th house, but practice that more, okay? And that's where all that aggressive imagination is coming from. It's that pent up anger. Also, yes, it is so important for Mars and 12th house people to find their power, find their will. Mars and 12th house people, you guys are actually really nice, because you don't have that Mars energy, or it's subconscious, kind of hidden. But it's important for you guys to find your willpower, find that Mars, be conscious of it once again, because you really aren't going to need that. You know, you're really going to need that. It's going to help heal you, and it's going to help you maneuver through life better because you get to actually express yourself. Don't be afraid of your anger. It exists within you, okay? It's not a non-existent. You know, you guys keep, you know, some Mars and 12th house people be saying, I don't get angry, I don't have anger, I don't get angry. No, you have anger, you have that. You just don't express it, okay? It's subconscious. It's all in the seas of the 12th house. It's all hidden underwater in the 12th house. But you have it, and it's operating, okay? And it's actually causing destruction in a indirect way. So don't say you don't have anger, Mars and 12th house people, because you actually do, and it could be, it's working subconsciously and to your detriment because you don't have control. So it can cause like you spazzing out of nowhere, or just like I said, lots of aggressive imagination and dreams and stuff like that. Be aware of because you have the power. Okay, be aware of it, and you need it so that people don't take advantage of you. You need to find your Mars. You need to be aware of your Mars so that people don't take advantage of you, and practice that energy. Mars is very physical, okay? It's very primitive it's very instinctive. So do activities that pump up your adrenaline so that you can feel that Mars energy, you know. I always say 12th house people, whatever signs or energy you have in that, go towards that energy so that you can unleash it more. So Mars is very physical. Do lots of physical things. That's a way of practicing releasing that energy. You know, confront whoever you need to confront with. You might not do it in the aggressive, direct way that Mars does it, but if you try to confront whoever you need to confront in any way, regardless if it's done, that's still practicing. That's still bringing out your Mars out to the consciousness. So practice this because you can get better. Like, you get better at this, and then you become like an intuitive warrior where you have the intuition and the fight together, you know. So I don't want people looking at the 12th house as like it's like just a fail. No, this is a very intuitive house. You guys are very gifted. Just bring out that Mars energy and practice it, okay? Also, you know, with Mars in the 12th house, there's lots of impulsive escapism, okay? 12th house is the house of escape. It's like getting out of this physical, mundane reality and going into your imagination. Or, you know, psychedelics, you know, drugs. That's why 12th house rules drugs, because it deals with the escapism. You know, people take drugs to escape their reality. So with Mars being in this house, these people can be very impulsive when it comes to escapism. So whatever you choose to escape, whether it be drugs, certain addictions, watching TV, I don't know, whatever it is. With that Mars here, you could be very aggressive and pumped up to escape. So you got to be careful of that, because that adrenaline can cause an addiction to escapism because you're so motivated to escape all the time. So be careful not to like have any crazy, like, you know, drug habits or issues, or it doesn't even have to be drugs. Escapism can come in many different forms, but being so impulsive with having to escape that you can't handle reality, be careful with that Mars in 12th house people, because all that adrenaline you got to get away, you know, it can become an addiction, okay? And 12th house is the house of addictions, and that Mars is gonna add the extra gas to it, so be careful with that, all right? So, yes, that's Mars in the 12th house. Oh, also with Mars in the 12th house, these people have a strong sexual imagination, okay? That's another fun fact with the sex talk, is that they can have a very strong sexual imagination and like a fantasy. But again, with the 12th house being so much about fantasy and imagination, yes, you can have a strong sexual imagination, but you might not have it realistically, like physically. So this is like a person that prefers, you know, video sex, like literally watching, versus actually physically being in the moment. You know, because that's the 12th house. 12th house wants you in your dreams and wants you in, like, you know, in an escape. But when it comes to reality, it's like your Mars is gone now. You know, so you got to be careful with that, because these are people who would just rather watch a video than actually be in the activity. It's like they're very aroused when they see videos sexually, but when it comes to the actual physical reality and actually being in the moment, they can't be in the moment. You know, the Mars goes away. So notice that as well too, because that is a thing. And 12th house does, when you mixing that sexual energy with that imaginative energy, you know, it can definitely pull you away from physical sex and make it more arousing in a imaginative, spiritual way versus something more raw and physical way. Very interesting placement, okay? Please, Mars and 12th house people, find your power. And it's not going to happen so easily, okay? It takes practice, and you don't have to be aggressive, but acknowledging it, acknowledging your anger, expressing it a little bit every single day, just to find it, it'll empower you. And then you'll become a fiery intuitive. You know, so you're fiery, you can take action, but you also can receive deep information. That's powerful. It's like you got the fire and the water. So yes, that is Mars in the 12th house. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you did, book a reading with me. I do natal chart readings. All you gotta do is email me and we can go forward with that. Also, check out my music. Okay, I have music on Spotify, Apple, and here on YouTube. All you gotta do is check the links in the description box below. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.